Okay, example 2. For angle or triangle ABC, what is measure of angle C? Then find AC and AB to the nearest tenth. Same direction as the previous problem pretty much. If I diagnose first off what I'm looking at and what I'm going to use, I see an angle, a side, and an angle. So that's angle, side, angle setup. And when I see angle, side, angle, that's the law of sines, case 1. I'm going to guess almost every problem you see tonight is going to be law of sines, case 1, diagnose it anyway. Because again, what am I given? What do I use? Okay, that's how you figure out what you're going to use. So again, because it's angle, side, angle, I know law of sines is going to be used, so I'm using sines in this problem. Everything's going to be about sine when I get to that point. Angle C is this angle down here. The two angles I know, 46 and 27, add up to 73. So the measure of angle C is going to equal 180 minus 73. So the measure of angle C is 107 degrees. I personally like to put stuff inside the triangle as I find it. If my eyes see angles in the triangle, it helps me to determine what's going to be helpful in finding the information. So if I don't remember specifically the procedure, but I'm looking at this and say, oh, I know all the angles on the side, I can probably use law of sines. All right, so again, you're going to develop this skill, hopefully, to recognize what you know and what can be useful to find missing information. So once I recognize the law of sines, I'm going to call this side over here little b, this side over here little a, because they're opposite big A and big B. And again, I'm going to create this proportion where I know one side, I know all three angles, so my proportion is going to look pretty much the same as it did before. 3 fractions, something I don't know, something I do know, something I don't know. So on top, I like to put the one I know in the middle. It makes my work nice and organized. The left 2 proportion or fractions make a simple proportion. The right 2 fractions make a simple proportion. What goes under A, little a, is going to be the sine of 46 degrees. What goes under 21 is going to be sine of 107 degrees. And what goes under B is going to be sine of 27 degrees. Now remember when you're doing these problems that the size of the sides is in proportion to the size of the angles. So the biggest angle is opposite the biggest side, the smallest angle is opposite the smallest side, and so on. So 107 is biggest, that's 21. These should both be less than 21. B should be the smallest because it's opposite a 27 degree angle. A should be larger because it's opposite a 46, but they're both smaller than 107, so they should both be under 21. That's just a little self-check you can do as you're doing these problems. If you do something wrong or weird, flip a fraction over something like that, and you get all of a sudden A is 117, it's supposed to be less than 21, you might know that something went haywire there, right? So if you kind of have this idea in your mind that A is less than 21, B is less than A, so you kind of have an idea of that. Again, I have no idea what sine of 46, sine of 107, sine of 27 is. There's no reason I should, because my calculator knows all that and it tells me. It doesn't hide secrets. If I say, hey, calculator, what's the sine of 46? I don't feel like telling you today. If it was like that, I'd probably want to know what it is. But when I say sine, when I say sine 46, it says 0.7193. 0.7193. Sine of 107, it says 0.9563. When I do sine of 27, it says 0.4540. Remember rounding rules. If you have 0.45399049997, right? You're trying to round to this decimal place here, and the next digit up is a bigger than 5 or bigger, right? So we're going to have to make that go up. If you just pretend that we go all the way to the first non-9, 39, one more than 30 is 39 is 40. So that's how you write round to 9 up, basically. So 0.4540. All right. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So this proportion, we'll figure out what A is. 0.9563 A is equal to 0.7193 times 21. 0.7193 times 21 is 15.1053. When using the law of signs, you should expect that type of structure every single time. Because the signs of these numbers are usually 4-digit decimals, and they're usually being multiplied by a variable. And then you have this other product with 4-digit decimal, so you're going to get decimals. Okay. And then if 0.9563a is equal to 15.1053, I'm going to divide by 0.9563 on both sides. Round to the nearest tenth. To the nearest tenth. So when I do 15.1053 divided by 0.9563, it comes out to 15.79556624, 15.8 approximately. There is no unit on the length, so it's just 15.8 number. Okay, if I do the same process to find b, I'm going to take the right two fractions here, I'm going to cross multiply them. 0.9563 times b is equal to 21 times 0.4540. Comes out to 9.534. So if I divide both sides by 0.9563, get rid of the coefficient, 9.534 divided by 0.9563. I get 9.97, so that's 9.96967478, right? If I round that, again, looking at that number, 9.9696747888, trying to round to this digit, and the next digit is a 6, which means I need to go up with it. Well, I need to go up with this too, right? So 99 is 100, right? So I'm going to write b is equal to 100, and a decimal point goes there, so 10.0. 10.0 is a better answer than 10 because the answer is not exactly 10, right? If the answer happened to be exactly 10, that'd be the answer, but since we approximately equal 10, having the point 0 lets the reader know that you know that's not exactly right. We approximated to get that answer. So if any rounding at all is done, and it ends in a 0, I want to see the 0 on it. So if it says nearest tenth, and you rounded to that number, and it's a 0, I want to see the 0. All right, so your papers for these problems should look like this. If you're asked to find one particular thing, if they just said find the length of this side over here, you'd have to find this angle to be able to do it. But then once you knew this angle, then you can just do that proportion to get that answer. So you might have to find something to find what they're looking for. So if they're asked for just one particular piece of information, only find that one. But if you have to find something to be able to find it, then obviously find the other stuff also. But keep that in mind. Sometimes they only ask for one thing. Once you've found that one thing, you don't have to go any further.